Hi everybody, it's Dawn from Crafting on the Green. I hope you're well. Today I wanted to show you how to make this quick cute card using the Flowers of Friendship stamp set. Very cute, very quick, just what we like. So what I would need is, here's my card base using basic white. I've got a mat using Night of Navy and my layer using basic white. So there's a bit of colouring in this one, but it's not too much. You can make it more or less if you choose. So I've got the big stamp here. I'm just going to use some Memento in black just to get this stamp in. I've just re-inked my Memento, so it's quite nice and black now. It does tend to go a little bit greyer, less black, I think is the what happens to it as it runs out of ink, although it was still ink for a long time. It just doesn't look quite so vivid. So when you do come to re-inking it, you'll notice a big difference. So I'm just stamping this 3 times. As I say, you can do as many or as few as you want to. I'm just going to leave it nice and simple, just like that. And I'm going to colour it in using light Night of Navy for the flowers. I do love Night of Navy, it's one of my favourite colours. And it's quite surprising how light the light one is in comparison to the cardstock colour. But it just looks so lovely. If you are going to stamp and use your blends, I recommend doing it on another piece of paper because it does bleed through. So if you're going to stamp it directly onto your card base, just be very, very careful of that. But we're not, that's why we're doing it in a mat and a layer. Plus it makes it look nice when it's got a little bit of colour around the outside of it. So, almost done the flowers. And again, you can do this in any colour, it doesn't have to be, you don't have to go with the blues, you can go with the pinks. I would just say whichever colour you go for the flower, if you're using the blends, try and match it with your background. So if you're using a nice light pink, then just take the colour of that for your background and that'll be fine. Right, so that's my Night of Navy. Now I'm going to use light Just Jade for the leaves. If I'm doing some colouring, unless I'm using the light and the dark in of the blends, I try to just stick to light or dark if I'm not being fancy with the colouring. And with this I'm not being fancy with the colouring, as you see it's just one colour all the way over. And what I mean by being fancy is maybe you want to add some of the dark Just Jade into the leaf as well to create shadow and things like that. Whereas for this card there's no need. Right, there's my background done. So I'm just going to do is stick this onto there. So get my Tombow. Why is it? They always want to start running out when you want to do them on a video. There we go, that's better. Oh. Get myself all gluey. But are you really crafting if you're not covered in glue or glitter, huh? That's what I think. Right, let's just get rid of some of that glue off my finger so I don't stick to everything. Okay, and now I've done this, I'm going to stick this onto my card base. Okay, just like that. So there's our background. So I quite like that as a background. I think it's nice, simple, straightforward, and you can do quite a lot with it really. So the next things we want to do, we're going to create our label. So I have one of the dies here from the Painted Labels dies set, and I'm going to cut out some basic white using this. I'll get my die cutter. Okay, there we go. That's got my label. And what I want to stamp on this one from the Flowers of Friendship stamp set is "Life is better with friends like you." But I'm also going to turn it this way. I'm not going to do it horizontally as you'd expect, I'm doing it vertically. So I'm going to use my grid paper to try and line it up so it's hopefully relatively straight. I'm always slightly wonky, but I want it to be straight if I can. So grid paper is handy for that. You can line up your stamps and your dies and your labels and things and actually know where you're cutting and stamping. Right, so now I'm going to pop this onto there. I'm going to use dimensionals for that. So I've got my dimensionals here. Just like that. And I'm going to just put that roughly in the centre. It doesn't have to be exact. I'm not a perfectionist, as many of you may know. So I just eyeball it, and as long as I'm happy with where it is, then that's good for me. And then I've got some flowers here. I stamped and cut these earlier, so these are just some of the smaller flowers. And I've coloured these in light and dark Night of Navy. And all I'm going to do is just bend the petals ever so slightly, not too much, but just so that they lift a little bit, give them a 3D effect. And then I'm just going to pop some glue on the back. And then I'm going to pop that one about there. Maybe turn that slightly, because otherwise that's covering up our greeting. Okay. The good thing about Tombow is you can move it around a little bit until you're actually happy with where it is. There we go. Something like that. And you can add as many or as few flowers as you want to. Just going to get my bone folder and run this along the side. And there we go. We have our card. You might see here with the stamping that this was done before I re-inked the ink pad. So as you see, although it still works, it's ever so slightly less black. But yeah, that's it. A nice simple quick card. You can add Wink of Stella, you can add some rhinestones, bling it up, but I think it's a nice plain simple card as is. So yeah, that's it from me for today. So thank you so much for watching. If you like what you see, please subscribe and don't forget to ring the bell so that you're notified every time I put up a new video. Yeah, have a wonderful day. See you next time.